Hey there. I'm going to show you 3 versions of the G major 7th chord. First, an easy one. The next one will be probably the most common one. And then the third one will be my favorite. You'll think you're going to love it. Of course, I'm a little biased. Let's do this. Okay, let's get right to this. Fortunately, all 3 versions sound pretty good. I'll start with the easiest one. We're going to put the first finger on the 2nd fret, 1st string, the next string, 3rd fret, next string, 4th fret, and the next string, 5th fret. I said that on purpose so you can see that they're all 1 fret apart. So that's the 1st string, 2nd string, 3rd string, and 4th string. 4th string, there, yeah, good. No, there, that's it. Okay, try it with me. Come on. First finger on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Now we got the 3rd fret, 2nd string. 4th fret, that's the 3rd string. And then the 4th string. I think I got it this time. Yes. That's a G major 7. Now, version number 2 is very common, and I think it's actually the first one that I learned. And it's particularly common in jazzy stuff, and that's when I learned it, when I was learning jazz progressions. So let me show you what it looks like. One thing to keep in mind about this version is I'm not actually playing all the strings, and I'll show you what I mean. First, let's get the fingering. So let's take the first finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. The second finger is on the 2nd string, that same 3rd fret. And the 3rd and the pinky together on the 4th and 3rd strings. Here's what it looks like. Now, when I said I'm not playing all the strings, this first finger is slightly angled, so it's deadening out the 5th string. It's not part of the chord. And the same thing with the 1st string. I'm actually touching it with the palm of my hand. So it's not ringing also. I'm playing 4 strings, even though I'm strumming down on all 6. Now, I want to show you another neat way that some people find is easier to remember the chord. Make a B minor 7, that's assuming you know a bar chord B minor 7. Then leave all the fingers except the 1st where they are and move the 1st finger over to the 3rd fret of the 6th string. Now you got to angle it, of course, so it's just touching the 5th but not the other strings. Now, there's many ways you can write a G major 7 chord out. Of course, the most obvious is to just write the whole chord out like this, G major 7. But a very common way is to abbreviate by using this M-A-J with a 7. Also, when I'm using a word processor, sometimes I'll just use a capital M like that. It's a little fuzzy because some people might mistake that for a minor. Of course, when I write a minor, I use a baby M, but you know, it's pretty close. Finally, when I'm handwriting, here's what I usually write. That's a triangle. That's kind of a jazz way of writing a chord, and it's very quick when you're handwriting. Unfortunately, not so easy to do with a word processor or a computer. Let's get back to that fingering for that 3rd version. And now for a 3rd version, which happens to be my favorite. I remember I first learned this fingering for the G major 7 when I was learning a song by the Gypsy Kings. It looks like this. It's a very open, full chord, and not that hard, actually. Unlike this one, it's not really movable either. This is unique to the G major 7. You can't move it around the fretboard. Let's finger this together. Put the 2nd finger on the 6th string, 3rd fret. That's that G bass note. Now we're going to take those other 3 fingers and make something like that 1st chord. The 1st finger is on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. The 3rd finger is covering that 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then the 3rd string, I've got the pinky down on the 4th fret. I am, again, muting out this 5th string, so my 2nd finger is slightly angled down, just touching it, so it doesn't sound. Once you get the basic fingering and you practice it several times, you might want to try it with a few other chords to get used to changing from one to the other. Here's a fairly easy progression that I took from my Moonlight Samba song on my Heart Coming Home CD. G major 7. And this is a type of E minor. Now, a C would add 9. And a D7. Well, that's all I know for now. If you found this helpful, please give me a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And one more thing before you go. practicing this in the context of some kind of progression is the best way not only to really nail the chord, but to get used to playing it with other chords. To help with this, I've created another video that'll give you a chance to practice this chord with some other interesting chords. I've got a link to that coming up right about now.